Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK Journey video. So we have Sylvan out on Reddit recruitment banner on the global server, and the question is, should you pull him now or is it better for you to wait? Now the thing about Sylvan, so far he has had exposure to 3 different Dream Realm bosses if we include the VN server release of Sylvan, and he has not been meta in any of the 3. Necrodraken, Magmazard, and Nocturne Judicator. Now, the thing is, these are bosses where he wasn't predicted to be good. However, when we look at the full Dream Realm boss rotation, it is honestly gonna be difficult for him to have any usage in the boss lineup that we have, because Doomscourge is a summoning meta. He's not going to be really used over there. Blightshroom, you would think that he is good because he can do normal attack damage, but a lot of Sylvan's damage comes from his ultimate skill, which is going to have those blades circling around him and then dealing that extra, 6 blades of damage each one of his normal attacks. And if he cannot cycle ultimates like in Blightshroom with the lack of energy, he's not really going to work well there. And so what does it really leave? Sarathiel, King Croaker, Gloommaw, and already like Shmir is kind of dominating those. I just find that it's going to be really difficult for Sylvan actually to be used. And also he's only going to be a pre-endless hero. As a true damage dealer, these heroes fall off when you make it to endless Dream Realm. So when we have to overall look at Sylvan's Dream Realm usage, it is not looking like it is going to pan out to be that great. So I would definitely say, if you're thinking about a Dream Realm investment, you should wait and see for the full rotation of these bosses and see is Sylvan in any of the top teams, because so far, unfortunately, in 3 bosses, he has not been in any of them, and there are at least 2 more bosses, like we mentioned, where it's very unlikely that he is going to be a good option. And also then he's not even going to be using endless. Now where does that leave him? What other game modes? We have PvP and we have AFK stages. Now as of right now in AFK stages, I think it's too early to tell, of course. However, he's not seeing that much AFK stage usage, because he does have crowd control with his gravity collapse. He can have some damage output with his true damage. However, that is not enough damage to actually kill in high deficit AFK stages. And the crowd control that he has, like we mentioned before, we have other better heroes to provide that crowd control. For example, Theodore, Mihira, and that combo. And like, you're going to be running those preferentially compared to Sylvan. And you need to free up a slot on the team for him. Is it enough value, or would it just have been better to run Theodore instead of him, right? So that is the thing about AFK stages. Now PvP is actually looking pretty interesting. So Shadow is my friend. He's already gotten his Sylvan to Paragon 4, and he was attacking me. I set some different defenses on duel. He was attacking me, and we can show you how Sylvan actually works pretty well in PvP. Look at this damage output. So I had a Bailran Stroll team on my defense, and the thing is, if you don't have a Dunlinger on your defense, Sylvan, because he begins with pre-fill energy, his ultimate, I believe, begins with 500 pre-fill energy, he's going to get his ultimate off fast, and his damage is through the roof once he has his ultimate casted. The problem is, if you delay his ultimate cast, then his damage is going to be delayed as well, because a lot of his damage is centered around his ultimate. However, he also has good survivability because he has that range defense buff for himself. So we're going to go ahead and show you what's actually going on here. So this green side is Shadow with the Sylvan, as you guys see here. He's double protected Sylvan, and Sylvan gets off ultimate really quick into the match. That's kind of crazy. Look how quickly he charges energy. Hey, what? Like, it kind of feels like it just skipped a beat. Like, there you go, boom, boom, there's a tick, and then he just casts ultimate right now. That's so crazy. Okay, so there you have it. And then once his ultimate is off, he's just blowing things up. Obviously, we also had Kulu casting ultimate, which is going to be dealing damage. But Sylvan himself is hitting really hard. And now you have 2 really tanky beasts, and they're both protected by Ulna. However, you're going to see Sylvan is going to work them down. And so you are going to see the raw damage output potential of Sylvan. But he does seem to be very ultimate dependent. Okay, now I'm going to show you another example. So there was another replay where he did also manage to win with Sylvan. And this was against it was a Dunlinger team, but Dunlinger full stall. And so full stall didn't actually work here because his Sylvan is able to survive long enough and even outlast the Dunlinger's ultimate. and then Sylvan is going to go off. So you're going to see it here. Sylvan has adequate protection with Alicent, with Ulna. And now he is probably going to get off an ultimate. Yeah, okay. Now he got off his ultimate. Now watch the damage nuking potential. So yeah, unfortunately, we have two other high-powered heroes. Alicent just nuking off the Solis, and we have Kulu's ultimate. So we can't perfectly see individually Sylvan's damage. However, you're going to see, just over time, he's going to keep hitting and keep contributing that damage. And also, on top of all of that, he's going to be difficult to kill. So there you guys see it. This is the damage. Like right now, it's only Sylvan and Ulna left, and which means all the damage is coming from Sylvan now. So Maya Ulna is immune. She recovers some health, but now you're going to see Sylvan work her back down. And yeah, look at all of these blades launching and dealing that extra damage, because all the blades are attacking at the same time, which is huge. And so there you see that nuke, which was interesting. However, then I came up with a really toxic defense. Yeah, I came out with a toxic defense. Ulna protecting Saida and Dunlinger, and then also Solis, and he hasn't been able to break that yet. So this shows you that yes, Sylvan is a good damage dealer. However, against a top meta, toxic defenses, he's still gonna struggle. So here I got my Solis ultimate off, which is great. It doesn't matter if she dies now, because she's just there basically for that initial round of healing. And then my Saida is just going to be annoying. So if the enemy has like Saida, Ulna, and just a lot of tanky beasts up in the front line, Sylvan is not going to be able to kill them fast enough. And like Saida is going to get off her 3 ultimates. So in terms of raw nuking power, even though Sylvan hits hard with his ultimate, it doesn't seem like it is much more damage per second compared to other damage dealers we already have in the game. I think it's just the interesting thing about Sylvan is that he himself has great survivability, because he has a range defense buff, and then if you run him with a Kulu on the team as well, it's like double range defense buff, and he becomes difficult to take down. But of course, like the survival you're watching in these clips, replays, is going to be artificially enhanced because we have Ulna and Alicent also protecting the Sylvan. But then eventually Sylvan's going to go down, and then not going to be able to do it. So I think overall, I am going to watch out for Sylvan, of course, in Dream Realm. I'm going to watch out for him in PvP as well. For right now, I don't think I'm going to invest any further. I just took him to Supreme Plus. We're going to wait and see on him. However, he does overall look like a pretty interesting hero. And also, this skill, 25% damage amplification to enemies in PvP. And I'm just seeing it more from a PvP angle right now. Getting some of these buffs. He immediately recovers 300 energy when he receives a temporary stat buff. And that's why you guys saw that his ultimate went off so quickly. Even though he has 500 pre-fill energy, he's going to get a 300 energy booster each time he gets a temporary stat buff. So if you're using him on a temporary stat buff in comp and the enemy doesn't have Dunlinger, he's going to ult quick, and that ult begins shredding the enemy team. So I think overall, Sylvan looks like a very interesting hero, but at the same time, look at this range defense, 48 range defense. That is crazy. Then you combine it with like a Kulu and like an artifact, he's taking heavily reduced damage from enemy range targets. And so I think, yeah, for PvP, I'm watching out for him. He seems interesting. For Dream Realm, it's looking honestly tough for him. It's honestly looking tough, which means for right now, my opinion is for majority of players, definitely wait. Definitely don't pull right now. And I think inevitably it may be just a skip for majority of players, because he's seeming just like a PvP whale toy maybe at this point. And even then, he is good. He is very unique and cool, but I'm not convinced about it yet. I need to see more from him. But anyway, guys, hopefully this video is helpful. Let me know what you think about Sylven in the comment section down below. Have you already recruited for him? Are you going to wait and see? Let me know and your reasons for why. But anyway, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. And if you're thinking about making a purchase in AFK Journey, please use my affiliate link for the official Farlight store. There's the best way you can support me and also gain 5% bonus dragon crystals on your purchase. My affiliate link is in the description of this video and a pinned comment, and you can actually bookmark this link in your browser, and whenever you're planning to make a purchase, just return to the bookmark link and make your purchase. It will support me and be greatly appreciated. So thanks for watching. I'll hopefully see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.